Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Ready? Yes. You have just stepped out into the world of chaos. Where everybody goes hard. Come on. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Or go home. Never back down. You gotta hold your own. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. East Coast. Go hard. West Coast. Go hard. Midwest. Go hard. Dirty. Hurry up, everybody. Get online, buy your tickets, cause the game about to start.
Coach,
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm making it. We know it's tough, but
Oh man, you got through.
What we do. So we do when we dig in.
That's right. Well, get some light. Get some light. There you go, Coach. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. So what we like to do here on Basketballheadzz, give people who had an impact on New York City basketball a chance to tell a story. And with that, comes my man Jamel Powell, the artist, who's, oh man, I think this is one of the best ones that he's drawn up. He got a nice picture for you, Coach.
I appreciate it, dude. I got a lot of amazing stories, about the history of basketball in Brooklyn and the people who impact on it and guys who came before us, the guys still doing it. So.
Yeah. I was just telling everyone. So, what I like to ask everyone who comes on the show is, who introduced you to the game?
Well, I was a baseball player.
I heard about that. We definitely, yes.
And my friends would always slip out of practice and go down and soul in the hole and play and leave me up there. So I didn't start playing till I was about 13 years old.
Right.
But once I did, oh man, it was love, man. The mere fact that we down in Soul in the Hole, we always had nets on the baskets. So always intoxicating to hear the basketball switch through the nets. Man.
Right.
Oh man. So
is there a particular person who introduced you to the game, or you just bumped into it by accident by following your friends?
Well, my friend Jerry Niles, he played baseball with me. He was one of the guys slipping down in the hole. So
okay.
Him and Mike Owens and Rick Niles, all those guys, Clyde Wade, them guys would go down the hole and play. And then later on, I found out that I was playing baseball with a whole plethora of basketball players. Ralph Abraham, who was an All-American at St. John's, Bishop Ford, he played on my baseball team. He was a pitcher. Marvin Roberts was a pitcher on my team. So those guys were basketball players. And hey, had a guy by the name of Nicky Taylor, who was a great player, who played at Wagner. He played at Franklin K. Lane and Wagner. And he passed away in a car accident on the Interborough. But
wow,
there's no doubt in my mind, he was next level, man. He was next level. Nicky Taylor. We called him Leopold when we played baseball because he was the home run king.
Okay. So at that time, who was the best player in your neighborhood?
Excuse me?
Who was the best player in your neighborhood at the time?
The best player?
Who was the top guy?
Oh, Chink Gaines was, all those guys came and played Soul in the Hole. Chink Gaines was All-American at Lane, at Toledo, at Seton Hall. He was an amazing player. He was a precursor. His game was like Barkley. He was just amazing. And my thing and my hope is always to link our young kids with guys who played and tell them who they remind me of And if I could introduce them, that's what I would do. So,
yeah, that would definitely be amazing.
He had a nephew who played at University of Georgia, Sauda Gaines.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but Chink was tough. I seen him as a
What's
kid.
What's his name? Chink Gaines?
Chink Gaines, Seton Hall University.
Got you.
Still with us too. Yeah,
all right. I wanna just be able to write some of these names down because I know a lot of these guys, you know, were before my time, and a lot of people are not talking about them. At least listen, I'm not hearing about them.
The first team to ever win 3 national basketball championships in a row was Tennessee State. And they had Dick Barnett, John Barnhill. And the point guard from that team was a guy from Thomas Jefferson High School. He took Jeff in '55 to the championship, and then he was at Tennessee State, and they won 3 straight championships. Wooten and them didn't start their run yet. So they were the first team to win 3 national championships.
Right.
So, and Nerlin Terran, he was an amazing player.
You said Tennessee State?
One of the things about the game today is guys don't talk about the older guys. Like,
right.
I know about a lot of guys who played the game. I never saw them play, but I listened to what the other guys, the older guys, would say about them. You know, I'll be in the park. Right. Those guys, they come playing soul in the hole. The reason why I became a teacher, because all those guys, Al Vance, Sparky Smith, Zeke Clemens, Milton Fierce, all those guys were teachers. So they were guys who were leaders in the neighborhood. And so I asked them, man, who those guys? Oh, they teachers. So I wanted to be like them.
Great role models.
Yep. You know,
so
a lot of things started first in Brooklyn. I always drop the pearl. Everybody talk about the Rucker tournament. But the first Rucker game was played in Brooklyn at Kingston Park. When Rucker was a park man at Kingston Park. He was a guy from the city. He wanted to go back to the city because that's where he was from. But he organized a game in Kingston Park. And in that game, he had Larry Brown, Jim Brown, Connie Hawkins.
What?
Lenny Wilkens. He had all those guys playing in that game in Kingston Park.
Jim Brown? Jim
Brown he's an All-American basketball player in high school, Jim Brown. He's probably the greatest athlete that ever lived, Jim Brown.
The football player?
The football player, Jim Brown.
Yo.
What?
That's crazy.
Yo, Coach, this is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah.
Listen, well, it's true. Look it up.
Wow.
The guy who scored the most points in a tournament basketball game at BRC wasn't a really basketball player, but he played in the offseason with the Globetrotters. He came there, he's from Omaha, Nebraska. He came there and played in the tournament and scored 59 points. And he played with the Globetrotters. His name was Bob Gibson. Hell of a player.
Wow. Wow.
Bob Gibson is a Hall of Fame pitcher.
The baseball player?
The baseball player. All those guys, they play different sports.
Yo, Coach.
That's amazing.
Right now, you are blowing my mind.
Yep, hey, anything I tell you, you can look it up. Bob Gibson was a bad boy.
Wow.
He was from Omaha, Nebraska. Some of the best athletes in America came from Omaha, Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a black conclave out there in Nebraska where the blacks live. So.
Okay. So did you transition from baseball to basketball, or you kept playing baseball?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And you know, I played on my junior high school team. I made it my senior year. I made the team, and we had a really good team. But the coach never played me in any game. I didn't play not one game, not 1 second.
Wow.
So we had a big game one day at Pratt playing boys and girls playing against Pearl in them. So we would take our games over to Pratt so everybody could see it. So after the game, we beat them. So after the game, we on our way to the locker room, and Coach Glitzman is on his way to the locker room. And I say to him, Coach Glitzman, come in. He said, who, me? I said, yeah, come here. I want you to talk to my team, say something to my team. So when I introduced him, I told my kids, this is a guy who had a big influence on my life. I learned numerous things about the fundamentals of basketball. He was the last white guy to play for Boys High, and his name is Sam Glitzman. He was my junior high school coach. So after Coach Glitzman spoke to the team, he came to me and asked me, said, why'd you say that to those kids? He didn't even remember me.
What?
He didn't even remember me. I said, Coach, you know something? The important thing is that I remember you.
Wow. How did that impact you, Coach, when he said he didn't remember you?
It involved me. That's all my life. That's the story of my life. I know I was good. I know I could play. I tried out for the Boys High team 3 times. And 3 times, I got cut. The coach cut me. So I didn't play for Boys High, but I played against the Boys High guys in tournaments. Mel Davis, Booby Green, Jimmy Pearsall. Those are my guys. I played all over.
Right.
Nobody had to tell me that I was good. I never had a problem with knowing how good I was. I never had a problem. Fear wasn't a part of my game. And when I coached, I taught my kids the most important thing. Listen, when we have a game, don't worry about the people who come to see us, because that's the most important thing. We ain't got no away games. All our games is home games. For the mere fact that they came to see us. So that's what my kids, they really perform. Ice, Beetle, Andre, Scurry, KK, Boo Williams,
right, hold on.
Gerald Green, and Davender.
Hold on, Coach, because we want to get there. We want to get there because you're rolling off some names, and I want to give those guys some time. So how did you get into coaching?
How did I get into coaching? Lester Roberts.
Yes.
I was working at St. John's Recreation Center, and they needed a JV coach at Hamilton. Hamilton was right down the street on Albany Avenue. And Lester told the guys, hey, I got you a JV coach. So they were thinking, oh, JV coach, that means we got a place to practice, because they didn't have no gym at that time at Hamilton. So we came over to St. John's and we practiced there. After my